Hey, this is just a quick video to kind of take a look at how to make our very first Inkscape project. We're going to be making a name tag using this program Inkscape, and then we're going to send it to the laser cutter to be cut. If you've opened Inkscape already, it looks like this. This has all the different tools. It could be some of these toolbars are in different spots. Sometimes they might be up here. And these are the tools on the side for a lot of the shapes that we're going to be doing. This is the toolbars for a lot of different uh, processes we need to use, and there's a lot of things over here on this right that we're going to be using as well. For this little assignment, we're actually going to use just a few, so it's going to be just fine. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, we're going to make, like I said, a name tag, which is going to be a circle in a circle with your name on it. That's basically what we need. So what we're going to do first is bring in a circle. Often when you're looking at tutorials, it calls these an ellipse. It's way over here on the side. You can see the different shapes. So we're just going to click the circle and I'm going to bring it in like this. Okay. Now the laser, if I were to send this to the laser would interpret this as me giving it instructions to etch this out. So what we want to do is cut it out. So what we're going to do is change this circle. We're going to get rid of the inside, so we only have a line on the outside. And we're going to do that by using something called fill and stroke. But before we do that, we're actually going to get our sizes right. So currently our size is, you don't really know, so we're going to go back to our main pointer, which is this arrow here, and click it. And then up here at the top, I have my width and my height. I'm going to change this to be inches. That's what we want to keep it. We're going to make our width somewhere between 3.5 to 4 inches. I'm just going to go 4 inches. And I want the height to be somewhere between 1 inch and 1.5. So we'll go 1.3. That looks like it should work. So I have my dimensions. Okay, I need to open something called fill and stroke. So fill would be the inside of the circle, and then stroke is the word used for the lines on the outside. So there's two ways, well, there's probably a number of ways to do it. The one down here in the bottom right corner is you see the word fill, and bottom left corner, fill and stroke. If I double click on the color, fill and stroke opens up over here. You can also go to Object, Fill and Stroke, or press Shift Control F if you can remember that, but I've never been able to do it. So I'm going to remove the fill. So here's fill here, and this is right now, it says I want it to be a flat color. I'm just going to make it gone. So you'll see that I have no fill, and I do still have the stroke. So if I go here to the stroke tab, you'll see, yep, it's still selected. Now the laser, however, whenever it sees black, it thinks you want to etch. What we want to do is have it cut, so which means we need to change it from black and make it red. As red as we can get it, so we bring our slider all the way over here to 255, and we have a red line. The last thing we need is the stroke style. We need it to be 0.01 inches. If it is too thick or if it is too thin, the laser doesn't know what to do with it. So we 0.01 and it is red, it knows it needs to cut. So that's all we need to do. We have our shape here. So the next thing we need to do is bring in another circle, or really anything that you want, in order to have for the keychain, to go with. I'm just going to zoom in, press Control, and roll with my mouse. And I can see how thick this is. I'm going to go back to my major pointer. I am at 0.263 by 0.93, which is fine. We're just going to go 0.25. That should work. And the width, I'll make that 0.25 as well. So it is round. I can just grab this and move it where I want to make it sort of in the center. That's great. So you can see I pretty much have my keychain where I need it, but what we are going to do is put our name on it. I'm going to go over here on the left. Down here I see letter. I'm just going to type. You can see how big it's going to be. We can resize this later, so I'm not going to worry about it. There are many different fonts that we can use, so you can choose those before you type or after you type. So I'm going to put my name on it right now. Oh, I better click off of this first. Click right back in here again. My name. So if I click off, so I'm going to go back to my pointer and I click off. Now it is an image element. So I can just reposition that inside here, however I want to do this. and it's going to etch because this is not red, right? This is, if you look on the fill and stroke, you'll see I have fill. So this is going to send to the laser. Whatever is red is going to be cut. Whatever is black is going to be etched. If I wanted, I could add another shape, maybe over here. I have a lot of corners, so maybe we'll change that and increase the, we'll just delete it. This is pretty much good to go. One last thing we should do before we leave is go back to our selection, and we want to group everything. It just makes it tidier, so everything you can see has been selected. On the far side, you can see there are two shapes. One of them is two shapes the same color, and beside it is one with two shapes where one is different. The one is group. If you hover, it'll always tell you what it is. If I group it, it becomes one thing, and I can move it around, and we are good to send it to the printer. To send it to the printer, we're just going to export it out. We're just going to save it, a copy of it. It's going to go straight into the right folder, and then we can, from there, we can go straight to the laser. All right, that's all you need to know. See ya.